Hey everybody, Daniel Fusco here, and welcome to today's 2-minute message. So I've been teaching the book of Nehemiah to the Crossroads family, and it is just so cool to watch how first they had to rebuild the walls so that they could rebuild the people. And what I thought was really, really powerful, and I keep thinking about this, is that in order for people to be built up, the very first thing you have to do is you have to be able to, whatever the greatest vulnerability is, you have to fix that. So at the time of Nehemiah, when they're coming back after that Babylonian captivity, for the people who lived in Jerusalem, the walls being broken down of the city of Jerusalem was their greatest vulnerability. And it was impossible to be able to build the people up before we first fixed the walls. And Nehemiah, with the help of all sorts of people, and by God's grace, was able to rebuild those walls in 52 days. And then right after that, the people get in the Word of God. And because their greatest area of vulnerability has been fixed, now all of a sudden a revival breaks out. And literally it talks about how they're choosing to fast, that they're reading the Bible for 6 hours at a clip, and then they're praising and confessing their sins for 6 hours at a clip. So there's no doubt that there is some significant revival going on in that restoration community at the time of Nehemiah. But we should never forget that in order to see people get built up, we have to help them with their areas of greatest vulnerability. You fast forward into the book of James, it talks about how can you love somebody if they're hungry and you send them away hungry. And so the idea is that we have to help assuage people's greatest vulnerabilities, their physical needs, so that you can move on to really help them spiritually, which might be our ultimate goal. And so fix the greatest vulnerability first so that God can do his work of restoration. Such a beautiful picture for all of us. So I want you to share this video because I want everyone to realize, hey, listen, sometimes I want to grow spiritually, but we have to fix an area of vulnerability so that we can grow spiritually. And in the comment section, I don't want you to air everything, but we all have different areas that we see, man, these are vulnerabilities, whether it's for you, your family, an area. And I want you to write down, hey, our area of vulnerability is this, and we're going to pray for one another. What a powerful way to be able to apply what we just learned to pray for one another in the areas of vulnerability, that God would provide, that God would send the help that is necessary, the provision that's needed, whatever it is, so that we can build one another up in our most holy faith. And God bless you today.